Hey there. So I'm gearing up to start putting together my Facebook ad services. And just a quick note, if I look like I'm half dead, I just got back from the gym for a little bit ago after not going for like an eternity. So I feel like I'm gonna die, but I'm probably not. But I probably look tired. But trust me, I'm excited to go over this. So now that that's out of the way, let's get started. So basically, Facebook ads work as part of a funnel. And funnel is a marketing term for a way of funneling your ideal clients from random people who know nothing about you to people who have heard about you to people who want to book with you to people who have booked with you. It's kind of funneling them in on that progression. And this is how it all works together. It starts with your Facebook ad, which leads to a landing page, which leads to a lead magnet, which leads to another ask, which leads to a booking. So I'm going to go through each of these steps and talk through how they work. So first of all, let's zoom in, and we're going to start with the Facebook ad. You want to target your ideal clients with something that they want. If you're a wedding photographer, it's going to be wedding photography, senior portrait photography. It could even be a lead magnet that they may want, and I'll get into what that is in a minute. And the targeting does not have to be super complicated. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. For example, for weddings, you could target people in your area that are recently engaged that like Offbeat Bride. That's it. That can be your targeting. For seniors, you could do kids age 16 through 19 that are in your area that like insert whatever popular trend that you know your ideal senior clients like. For newborns, it could be women in your area, ages 20 to 35, and this is just an example age group. Your ideal clients may be a little bit older. It doesn't really matter. This is just an example. Who like insert popular newborn website here. For boudoir, it could be women in your area, ages 20 to 45, and again, that could definitely be older depending on the spectrum of your ideal clients, who like high-end fashion like Louis Vuitton, Hermes, Valentino, Chanel, etc., aiming at that higher-end clientele. And if you don't know what your ideal client likes, stalk them on Facebook. Check out their likes section if you're friends with your ideal clients or ideal clients you have in the past. Even if you're not, you can still stalk them on Facebook, and some of them have that information available to the public. So you can go and look at their likes and see some of the pages and things that they like. Look for overlapping brands, movies, products, entertainers, websites, things like that. Because the more overlap you have in different types of brand and the more clients that like the same thing, the stronger idea you get of things your ideal client likes. But again, it doesn't have to be complicated. Next, we go to the landing page. A landing page is a super simple, basic page whose main purpose is to collect an email address. You want to start out by getting your clients to say yes to small things. Now, the reason this is because asking your clients for a sale or a booking right off the bat is a really big thing to ask someone who doesn't really know anything about you. As a photographer, you probably think that that's an easy thing to ask for, but as a client who's never worked with a photographer before, more than likely, it's a really big thing to ask of them. And it's really kind of soon off the bat. Think of it like if you're talking to someone you just met in a coffee shop. And you're like, hi, I'm a photographer. Would you like to give me $300 for a session? You know naturally that that's too fast for them. Like you can't offer that right off the bat. Advertising online is the same thing. You have to slowly lead up to that big ask with little asks and little things and little ways to get them to say yes to you. So you need to break it down to smaller asks and allow them to get to know you, like you, and trust you. This is a know, like, and trust factor. It's a really common thing and a really common ground in marketing. There are landing page softwares that you can use that are free. MailChimp is free, and it has a free landing page service with it as well. MailChimp is an email service provider, which is convenient to have it all in one place. But if you want something more photography specific, Nate with Sticky Albums created Sticky Folios, and that's basically a landing page and streamlined website layout solution for photographers. It's paid, so it costs more money, but they're beautiful and made specifically for this part of the process. Here's an example I need to take you to. This is a really, really, really simple landing page. You can see it states what they want you to learn or what they want you to help you with. Want to take better photos with your smartphone? Here's what it'll learn. Here's how you get the guide. And then like a few pictures and your branding, and you click get the guide, and it pops up with, this should pop up with a little thing that has them put in their email address basically, but for whatever reason on this browser and this computer it's not popping up. But you get the idea. Super simple, super streamlined, super easy to follow with what you want them to do, which is exchange their email address for a guide of some sort. So moving back. So once you have brought them to a landing page, your Facebook ad will link out to a landing page. You move on to the lead magnet. A lead magnet is another marketing term, but don't get too overwhelmed. It's really not that complicated of a thing. Basically, it's something that's going to help your ideal client solve some kind of problem that they have. As a newborn photographer, here's a few examples I came up with. It could be 5 tips for calming a fussy newborn. Family portrait photographer, 7 tips for taking better pictures with your cell phone, kind of like the one we just looked at. Senior portrait photographers, what to wear for your senior portrait session so you look killer in every photo. Boudoir, what to wear or bring to your boudoir session. Wedding photographers, how to create the perfect wedding day timeline. Use your expertise as a photographer in your area of expertise to help your client with something they struggle with. And if you think about your clients over a period of time, you can probably think of a few things where it's like, wow, the clients I have usually struggle with this or that or whatever it is. There's probably a few overlying trends that you've noticed over the years of things that they struggle with and could use a little guidance with. And as a photographer in that specific field, you probably can offer some of those answers. A lead magnet is not a complicated thing. All it is going to be like 5 to 7 tips, for example, that are dripped out to your client in the form of a short daily email for about a week. So every day they get a new tip. This is a way for you to gain their trust, let them get to know you, and let them get to like you by being helpful to them in some way. And you want it to ideally be short and simple because a lot of times people are going to be reading these on their phone. So you want it to be easy to read and simple, short, sweet, to the point, quick, easy little tip about whatever area you've chosen over the period of a week. So once they've gone through your lead magnet over however long you decide to space it out, you come to the next ask. So remember we talked about we want to get them to say yes to little things, right? So we can lead up to saying yes to a bigger thing. So the next thing you want them to say yes to would be something that's going to lead them closer to a booking. So you insert another small ask, like, would you like to see my portfolio? Would you like to schedule a phone consultation? Would you like to download my investment guide? Would you like to hear about some of my past clients' experiences in working with me? So you're leading them on to say yes and yes and yes. By this time in the funnel, they've started to get to know, like, and trust you, and are more willing to say yes to other things that you ask of them. Okay? Once you get through that ask, whatever is appropriate for you and your type of photography, now you're going to ask for the booking. There may be another few steps in there too, depending on what type of photography you have and what your end goal is, whether it's like a mini session or booking a wedding or something like that. But for purposes of this, we're keeping it simple. So after they say yes again, you move on to the booking, whether it's a consultation or a session, or whatever your end goal is, something that moves towards that end goal. This can be automated via an online booking solution. Stickyfolio has this option built into it, and you can use other things like Calendly. And there are other solutions out there as well. I could ask around and see what some of them are. And again, I'm not getting paid by Nate from Sticky Albums and Stickyfolio to say any of this. He doesn't even know I'm talking about it. But just so you know, this isn't me trying to like push something on you. This is me saying, oh my God, Nate has made this awesome solution for this thing. It's really awesome, but if you don't want to pay for it, there's other options out there too. So that's essentially how a funnel works. One of the other ideal parts of this is that all of this is automated, okay? So your Facebook ad, once your Facebook ads are running, you don't really have to do anything for them. The landing page obviously is just a website. You don't need to monitor it all the time. You just need to set it up and let it go. Same with the lead magnet. Once they're brought onto your email management system like MailChimp, which is one I recommend because it's really easy to use and it's free. It's really intuitive. That automatically runs. So as soon as someone signs up, they get email number 1. And as soon as somebody else signs up a different date, they get email number 1. And this is not a new concept. You probably get email newsletters from other things online. It's the same exact thing. It's all automated. You don't have to do anything once it's all set up, including all of this stuff, including the booking to schedule the consultation or the session. So this is really kind of something that once it's set up, it kind of runs for you and you don't have to do much to it, except maybe tweak it here and there with small things. And this will be part of the service that I will be offering. We'll be helping you and taking charge on setting a lot of this up, of course, with your input, like the lead magnet. I can't necessarily write that for you per se, but I can have you tell me what to write and put it together in an email sequence for you. I'm familiar with MailChimp. I'm familiar with all of the software and websites you would use to do all of these steps. I'm not covering them all in this video because this is just meant to be like a short overview of how it works instead of like a detailed step-by-step video. So that's really it. And for those of you who aren't looking for the service, I still wanted to give you something of like an overview of how this type of marketing works, because for a lot of you, it's your slow season. And this would be a really great thing to look into implementing. And if you have any questions about any of it, feel free to ask me. And if you want to work with me and have me set up most of this for you, let me know and we can work on that service for you. But again, I just wanted to give you something to give you an idea of what I would like to be covering with my Facebook ad service that I want to premiere, I guess you could say, this year. So that's it. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later, guys.